In this video today we have AKUEB class 10th examination May 2015 physics paper 1. So let's start with our question number 1, and this question is from our chapter number 10, simple harmonic motion and wave. In this question, the question states that which of the following will happens when water waves enter the shallow region, or the water wave enters from denser medium into the shallow medium. So as we have studied in the refraction, that refraction could be of two type. One is from rare medium into the denser medium, or water waves traveling from deep region to the shallow region, or shallow region into the deep region. In this way, water waves bend towards the normal or away from the normal. For in this case, when waves traveling from denser to shallow, uh, deeper to the shallow region, the water waves will bend towards the normal, and the bending towards the normal will decreases the speed of the wave and the wavelength of the wave, while the frequency remains constant. So option A we have is a correct answer for this question number 1. Next, we have question number 2, and this is our question once again from our chapter number 10, simple harmonic motion and waves. All of the following are the mean to use to transfer energy from one place to another place. All of the options are the means carrier of energy from one point to another point, in which option C and option D, they both are waves, and we know that waves are actually the carrier of energy. Similarly, the matter, in which solid, liquid, or gas, they all are the carrier of energy. Body moving from one point to another point, they possess kinetic energy, and they carry kinetic energy from one place to another place. So the correct option we have in question number 2 is option B, that is charges. Let's see question number 3 and question number 4. Question number 3 is from our chapter number 11, sound. Wars on Earth are very noisy, while the war in space will be quiet. It means there will be no sound in the space if there is a war happening in the outer space. So we know that in the outer space there is no atmosphere, there is no medium, and sound is a type of longitudinal wave, and longitudinal waves require medium for its propagation. So noise in the outer space cannot be heard by us because sound waves require medium. And the correct reason for this question number 3 is that sound waves cannot travel through vacuum, and the in a space, or in a space there is no atmosphere, or we can say that there is a vacuum, so sound cannot travel through vacuum. So the correct option is option B. Question number 4. This is again from our chapter number 11, sound. Which of the following is used to determine the pitch of the sound? So we know that pitch is a characteristic of sound that distinguish between a shrill and grave sound. Shrill sound means high pitch, and the grave sound means low pitch. And this pitch of the sound depends upon the frequency. This means that high frequency means shrill sound, and high pitch and a low pitch frequency is a grave sound, and has low frequency. So, for example, this is a wave. and sound wave, and another wave we have is this. So the second wave has the more frequency and the first one has less frequency. Simultaneously, this would be our grave sound while this B would be our shrill sound. Let's see question number 5. In question number 5, this is our chapter number 12, Geometrical Optics. If an object is placed at the center of the curvature, so a placement of the object or the position of the object is at the center of the curvature, and we have a converging lens or convex lens, then we have to find the position of the image. Then the image of that object will be formed at. So we know that whenever an object is at center of curvature or 2 times f, we know that the image is also at c or 2f, and nature and size is real inverted while the size is equal to the object. So the correct option for this question number 5 is at the center of curvature. Next, we have question number 6. This is again from our chapter number 12, Geometrical Optics. Which of the following phenomena of light that occurs in an optical fiber? So, optical fiber is a device that is used to transmit light or transmit data in the form of light from one end to the other end. So the process or the phenomena that is involved in this optical fiber is the total internal reflection. When a ray of light moving from denser to the rare medium and the making an angle of incidence greater than the critical angle, then the light bounce back into the same medium or the denser medium. This process is known as total internal reflection. Let's see our question number 7. And in this question, we have to identify that. Let's see our full questions. So here we have question number 7. And this is again from our chapter number 12, Geometrical Optics. The nature of the image formed by the objective lens and the eyepiece in this given instrument. So, as we can see that we have this optical instrument in which this is our telescope. This is our astronomical telescope that is used to see the distinct object. So the object are placed very far from this objective lens, and the image of that object is formed here. This is I1, that is the image formed by the objective lens. So the nature of this image is real, and for the eyepiece, this real image act as a virtual object, and the image formed by this eyepiece is I2, and the nature of this image is virtual. So I1 is real image while I2 is the virtual image. So the image formed by objective lens is real while eyepiece is virtual. So question number 7, we have the correct answer, that is option B. Let's see question number 8. And this question is once again from our chapter number 12, Geometrical Optics. And according to the given ray diagram, in which a ray of light is traveling from air into the water, and some part of the incident ray is bounced back, and while the other is bent into the water. So we have to see which of these three conditions are true for this given diagram. So angle AOD is equals to angle BOD. So this is the angle AOD, that is the angle of incidence, and BOD is this angle, that is the angle of reflection. And we know that these two angles are always equal. Secondly, AOD is equal to COB. AOD once again is the angle of incidence, and COB there is no relation or equality between these two angles. It means this condition is false. Next, third condition AOD, that is angle of incidence, that is greater than the COE, that is the angle of refraction. So as we can see, light traveling from rare medium into the dense medium, so this means that light will bend towards the normal, and whenever the bending it towards the normal, angle I is greater than the angle R. So this condition is also true. So we have two condition, 1 and 3. So we will have the correct answer, that is option B. So let's see the next question we have in this paper, that is question number 9. And in question number 9, we have two capacitors that are connected in series combination. And in series combination, we have to identify that which of the following three conditions are true for this statement or this diagram. So as we know that first condition state that the charges at both capacitors are equal. So this is true because in series combination we have equal charge deposited at each capacitor. So the first condition that is given is true. Secondly, uh, V total voltage is equals to difference of the voltage at each capacitor. So this is the incorrect statement. The characteristic of series combination is such that the total voltage is equal to the sum of voltages at each component that are connected in series combination. So these two characteristics are this second condition is incorrect, while in third condition, that is C1 is equal to C2. This is not necessary that two capacitors that are connected in series that must be equal. They can be equal or they can be unequal. So there is not particular any characteristic of this series combination. So this statement is also false. So the true statement, that is 1. So we have question number 9, the correct option is only 1. Let's move to our question number 10. In this question number 10, we have two charges and the electric field lines drawn around it. So this is our chapter number 13, Electrostatics. So the previous question, question number 9, was also from the same chapter 13, Electrostatics. So as we can see that electric field lines, the direction of electric field lines is away from this charge. So it's mean that both charges are positive. So option C or option D could be the correct answer. Simultaneously, we can see there is a symmetric lines around these two charges that shows that the magnitude of both charges is equal. So the correct answer for this question number 10 is option B. Both of the charge are positive and the magnitude of these charge is equal. Then we have question number 11, and this question is from our chapter number 14, Current and Electricity. And this question number 12 is also from our same chapter, Current and Electricity. So, which of the following, sorry, question number 11, which of the following is not represented by volt? Which of the following quantity is not measured in volts? So, as we know that electric potential is measured in volts, electromotive force is measured in volt, while potential difference is also measured in volts. So, the correct answer is option D, that is potential energy, and the SI unit of potential energy, as we know that it is equal to joules. So correct option we have is option D. Next, we have question number 12. Which of the following is the best conductor of electricity? So we have four materials: silver, copper, aluminum, and tungsten. And we have the resistivity values, raw values for all these materials. So for conductors, the value of resistivity is low, and for insulators, the value of resistivity is high. So this is a simple question. We have to see which of the following resistivity values is low. So the smallest value of resistivity among these four is the silver, that is 1.6 exponent minus 8 ohm meter. So the correct answer for this question number 12 is option A. So let's see the next question, that is question number 13. And in this question we have to this question is from our chapter number 15, electromagnetism. And if the number of turns in the secondary coil is doubled, so if we increase or double the number of turns in secondary coil, then what will be the effect, or then the alternating voltage of an AC generator will become? So what will be its effect on the alternating voltage? So as we know that the magnitude of induced voltage is directly proportional to the number of turns. If we increase the number of turns, then the induced voltage in that coil will also increase. So, question number 13, we have the correct option, that is option B, that the magnitude of induced EMF will be doubled. Next, we have question number 14 from the same chapter, chapter number 15, electromagnetism. All of the following depends upon the electromotive force induced in the secondary coil. So we have the factors of electromotive force, except for the one. So this magnitude of induced EMF, we have the factor that is directly proportional to the number of turns in the primary coil and the number of turns in the secondary coil, and simultaneously to the voltage applied in the primary coil. So this is also the factor in a transformer, that the factor was voltage in primary coil. If we increase the voltage in the primary, then the secondary voltage will increase. Similarly, if we decrease the number of turns in the primary, then it will increase the voltage in the secondary. And if we increase the number of turns in the secondary coil, then the voltage will increase. So option A is the correct answer, that is power in the primary coil. Power always remain constant in our transformer. The power in the primary coil and in the secondary coils remains constant. So let's see our next question, that is question number 15 from the same chapter number 15, electromagnetism. All of the following decreases the force on a wire in a magnetic field by decreasing the values except. So again, we are asked about the factors that affect the magnitude of force in the on a conductor that is placed inside a magnetic field. So as we know that the factors affecting the force are B, I, and L, where B is the strength of magnetic field, I is the amount of current, while the L is the length of the conductor. So current in the wire is I, strength of the field is B, and the length of the conductor or wire inside the field is L. So the correct option is option C, that do not affect the magnitude of force on a conductor placed inside a magnetic field. So, question number 16, once again from our same chapter number 15, electromagnetism. All of the following decreases the total force acting on an armature of a DC motor. So, as we know that in a DC motor, a coil is placed inside a magnetic field and a turning effect is produced on that coil. The factors that affect the turning effect of force on that coil are B, I, N, and A, where B is the strength of the field, I is the current, N is the number of turns in the coil, and A is the area of that coil. So torque is equal to B I N A. So these are the factors that affects the torque. So let's see in question number 16 what we have the correct answer. Area of the coil is A, that is a factor as I have mentioned here. Current in the coil is the I and the number of turns are N. So this is the factor that is the shape of the coil that do not affect the force acting on the coil that is placed in a external magnetic field to form a DC motor. So correct option we have is option B. So let's see question number 17. And in this question, we have this is from our chapter number 16, that is basic electronics. And in this question, we have to identify this logic gate or this logic operation. So, as we can see, it has only one input and only one output. So, as we have studied, this type of logic operation is a NOT operation, because not have only one input and one output. So question number 17, we have a simple answer, that is not operation. Next question number 18, that is once again from our same chapter number 16, electronics. And which of the following is not a part of cathode ray oscilloscope? We know that the basic parts of a cathode ray oscilloscope CRO is an electron gun and a pair of deflecting plates, and finally we have a fluorescent screen at the end. So these are the basic parts of an CRO. Among those, the armature is not present in our CRO. Armature is a part of a DC motor and AC generator, while this electron gun, deflecting plate, and fluorescent screen, these are the part of our CRO. So let's see our next question, that is question number 19. And which of the following is not a telecommunication device? So this question number 19 is from our chapter number 17, that is Information and Communication Technology, ICT. Which of the following is not a part of telecommunication device? So mobile phone, as we know that it is used for communication. Then we have a fax machine and a computer that is used for communication, while telescope is not a telecommunication device, rather it is an optical device that is used to see the distinct object. So the correct option is option A. Next, we have the question number 20, and this question is from our chapter number 17. So, information and communication technology. Which of the following is not the use of in internet? So, As we know that sending and receiving the electronic mails or emails is a basic use of internet. Accessing any website around the world or accessing the world wide web, this is also the basic use of the internet. While making telephone call is also possible by the use of the internet. So transporting goods physically from one point to another point is a physical task, is a physical work that is performed by any of the person or the device. So this is not the basic use of the internet. So question 20, we have the correct option, that is option A. Next we have question number 21, that is from our chapter number 18, radioactivity. And we have to identify the correct option in which the true arrangement of the ionization power of alpha, beta, and gamma. So, as we know that alpha particles are massive, have more charge, so they have the ability to ionize the gas or the ionize the particles of the medium through which they are passing. So, ionization ability of alpha particle, beta particle, and gamma rays. So, alpha particle have the greatest ability to ionize the particles of the gas or the medium through which they are passing. So, we have a correct answer, that is option A. Let's move to our question number 22. And question number 22 is again from our chapter number 18, radioactivity. Stable elements can be changed into radioactive element by bombarding with some particles. So this process that is mentioned is known as artificial radioactivity. So in this process, we can make radioisotopes by bombarding it by a charged particle. Whenever we bombard a charged particle on a stable atom, it is transformed into its isotope that becomes unstable and emits radioactive radiation. So in these three options, neutrons are not the charged particles, they are neutral. And okay, so let me correct. This process of artificial radioactivity can be performed by bombarding an proton, a neutron, or alpha particle on the stable nucleus. By bombarding these particles on the stable nuclei, that is stable nuclei that converts that atom nucleus into unstable, and they become radioisotope. So neutrons and alpha particles is the correct answer, while electrons cannot be bombarded on the stable nuclei because they have very less mass, and it would not do any effect on this process of artificial radioactivity. So correct option for question number 22 we have is option D. Question number 23, once again from our chapter number 18, radioactivity. And in this question, which of the following affect the process of radioactivity? So, we have studied that radioactivity is a random process, while this process is a spontaneous process. This means that this process is not affected by any of the physical factor like temperature, pressure, electric field, or magnetic field, or any other factor. The only thing that affects the rate of radiations or rate of radioactivity is the initial mass of the parent nuclei. Initial mass of our parent nuclei. Greater the mass of the parent nuclei, the faster will be the process of radioactivity. So, this process is not affected by pressure, temperature, or electric field. So, the correct option for this question is option A, that is mass. Next, let's see the last question from our this current year. Question number 24 and 25 from the same chapter, chapter number 18. Which of the following particles is positively charged? So, electron, as we know that they are negative charge, neutron that are neutral, alpha particles that have positive 2 charge, while beta particles that have negative charge. So, the positively charged particle among those is the alpha particle. So the correct option for 24 is option B. Last question from this year, that is 25. All of the following could be the use of radioisotopes. We have studied an SLO in which we have marked many uses of radioisotopes, in which sterilizing the surgical instrument was one of them, making smoke detectors for homes and businesses by testing the leakage in the pipe and the aircraft parts. These were the uses that we have studied in the radioisotopes uses. While these option B, in which we have the detecting the presence of a baby in a womb, is a use or this process is detected by using the ultrasound. So we have studied this use in chapter number 11, that is sound, in which we have studied several uses of ultrasound. Among those, this detecting the presence of a baby in the womb was one of them. So correct option for this question number 25 we have is option B.